All right, you guys. So, I know I'm going to start getting a lot of questions in regards to my low weekly budget of groceries. Okay, so I have been posting recently, like, not every single time I go shopping have I been sharing with you guys every single time I shop recently, like I used to do in the past, okay? But I still had a budget and I would usually stay on budget. If I went over, I would let you guys know. But you guys know I like to share everything, right? I'm not just about saving money. Um as I mentioned in my previous video, I think savings is a way of life. It's it's a habit, right? So I like to share how I personally save money across all boards of things, right? If I can, I will share with you. And one of the things is I like couponing. I haven't done that recently, but I used to do couponing videos in the past, but right now I've really calmed down. I still do a little bit here and there, but I don't do weekly couponing like I did before. So that was one way I would share with you. Also, I used to share with you, and I still kind of share with you the rebate apps such as Ibotta, Fetch Rewards, Checkout 51, and now there's also coupons.com, their app. ShopKick was another one. So I used to use apps as well. So that's another way of saving. But if you guys don't know, over the course of since I've looked at my recent videos, I made a playlist of, well, the playlist, there's two playlists. I just recently made it up, but I'm going to delete one of the playlists because they're all the same videos. It's low or budgeted grocery hauls or low budget grocery hauls. I don't know which one I'm going to keep, but I didn't know how long I've been doing this for, but I've been doing it since 2018, okay? Now, since the pandemic, so 2020, when the pandemic hit and, things were scarce and, there was like a lot of don't be out as much type of, stay home orders and things like that. I wasn't bouncing around from store to store. And that caused me to say, you know what, let's give up the budget. We're in a pandemic. So I was spending more on my groceries, okay? So back in 2018, I don't know when this started because I started budgeting back in 2018, but I checked my first video of a $25 budget. I have to find the first video. Our grocery budget per per uh paycheck, which I get paid bi-weekly, used to be $140. So that's basically $70 per week. Okay. Now, what I was seeing is that with that budget of $70 per week, we were very wasteful. So that means we were buying a lot of food, but you know what? Because we have a lot of food in the house, hey, if we didn't want to eat the rest of that chicken, hey, it will stay in the refrigerator, and then versus us eating it up, we'll go on to the next thing, and what happens? That chicken that's left over goes in the garbage. And I kept seeing that, right? And I'm just like, now this is as part of my journey, okay? My journey. And that's why I say, like, when you look at other people's channels, you can take bits here and there, right? Now, I was just looking at my stuff and, being on my own financial journey, I'm like, where can I cut back on? And during this time frame, I was on taking a lot of FMLA from my job that was unpaid. Sorry about my hands being ashy. They're always ashy. With it being unpaid, my paychecks were small, right? So I was always trying to find ways, hey, how can I stretch these dollars? So looking at this, I'm like, hey, we're spending a whole bunch of money on food. Now, I don't think $70 is a whole bunch of money. Okay, I don't think that at all, especially for two people. I don't think that. But when you look at how wasteful we were throwing out so much food. And I'm like, that's money going in the garbage. So I think I put ourselves down. I don't remember. I have to go back to the previous videos. I don't know if we got down to $50, and then I think we did get down to $50, and then I was like, you know what, Candace, we're still being kind of wasteful, or we are buying more processed foods. And I'm like, let's go down to $25. Now, it's me and my son, okay? And ever since then, we've been doing really good on the $25 weekly budgets. Now, I know a lot of people say that's insane. It does sound insane. I will say that it really does sound insane. Now, I will say not everybody can do this. A couple different reasons why. We all don't have the same stores, right? I have one store that I really love to shop at is Lidl. Okay, Lidl is almost like Aldi's, and they have some really, really good sales. Okay, and one thing I've found out is that when their meats, you know how you go to stores and their sell by dates on the meats, it says sell by or freeze by date is coming up. With Lidl, on that same day that it says sell by or freeze by, they mark it down to $1.50. No matter what it is, it's $1.50. Me personally, I know some people don't like this, but me personally, I don't mind putting my meats in the freezer. Okay, so if you can buy, and I recently did a video where I bought like 10.5 pounds of chicken breast for only $3. Okay, I'm gonna link that up above. Now I know a lot of people's like, wow, Candace, and there's been other things that I buy from them. Now I don't go into the store all the time looking for these deals because I feel like my freezer is packed. But those are some things that I can say now, and I'm not going to say these are. I guess these are a type of tip of how to save money on your grocery shopping. Now, once you get the meat, you have your protein. Say for if you don't do protein, they even do it for like fish and stuff like that, fresh fish and other things as well, or like 30% off. Any deal you can get, anything that's not full price, that's a savings, and that savings you could put towards something else. So once I get my meats, I basically do my meals around that, right? I already have my protein. Now I try to get my vegetables in, but I always try to have a side to go along with it. And that's how I've been able to stretch my grocery funds. And one thing I used to do in the past, I used to do videos with you guys, on my channel. I used to do like flip throughs of the ads. Now I think I would like I think I would like to bring that back, because I used to create a grocery list with you, like go through the ads and say, hey, we can get this, and get up to $25. And then after a while, I was just like, you know what, let me just do the grocery haul. I'll just bring the stuff back and show you guys what I have and show you guys the receipts. I always like showing the receipts because I think it's good to see the prices. And I know everybody will say, hey, Candace, man, I wish I had that store, or where I live at, everything's so much more expensive. Like, I know Canada prices are out the wazoo, but even just in the US, per state, even like if I go down further south, like in Virginia Beach, they don't have Publix down there in Virginia Beach. So it's, I like to, so these are things that I'm just mentioning that, like, I know not everybody can do the same thing, but there are going to be ways. Like, if you look at your spending habits, are you shopping sales, or are you just shopping what you want? Like, okay, I have friends and family that just, hey, if I want something, I'm gonna get it. And I completely understand that. And I'm like that sometimes too, right? But usually what I'll do is use my allowance money. When I have my grocery fund, I like to use my grocery fund strictly for groceries. And then if I want something extra, like candy or whatever, I will try to use my own allowance money, because at that point it's a want. but a need, I really just stick to that. So that's another thing. Also, my grocery budget is strictly for groceries. I don't use that for household items at all. Um, so yeah, what other things I wanted to say? Oh yes, also buying things like on BOGO. So we already talked about sales or clearance items, but shopping BOGOs. BOGOs now, I know in Virginia, I think they call it a true BOGO state, where if you only get one of the items, you get it for half price. You don't have to buy two of them to get it at that buy one get one for free. I know there are some states, and I'm not too sure which one it is. So that's something that you would want to be knowledgeable of for your state. I think it's based on state. I don't know if it's based on city in the state. I don't think it is. When I have watched other people's videos, but who am I to say? I don't know. But that's something you can definitely check on, or even probably view it online. Um, so with BOGO, um, in my state, I can just buy one item at half price. So sometimes I'll buy two of them. Sometimes I'll just buy one of them if I don't need that much of it. But that's another way. Definitely always look at the weekly ads. Look at the weekly ads. Those weekly ads come in handy because that allows you to base your grocery trip on a budget, look at the sales. Hey, what meats are on sale, or what seafood, or whatever you like to eat. See what's on sale and then go from there. Get the stuff that's on sale, get two or three of the items, okay? And then the other amount you could put up for another, because I know not everybody likes eating the same thing over and over. I know I don't. um so that's another thing. When you find something on sale, get a couple of them. Only if you feel like, hey, yeah, I'll use it. If it's a one-time thing, just get one, because obviously you don't want your money to go to waste. What else? So yeah, looking at the ads, shop the ads, and do your meal prepping based on that, or grocery shopping based on that. What other things did I want to mention? Hmm. Feel free to write things down, write your list down, write the prices down as you go along. Um, if you want to switch it up, say forth. What I used to do, I used to try to do my shopping for 2 weeks all in one shopping trip. And what did I find myself doing? I found myself going back to the store a couple of times to get like fresh produce, fresh foods, or oh, hey, I forgot this item for this meal. So that's adding on to my budget, right? So making at least, I started to update my shopping trips to at least once per week versus trying to think ahead for 2 weeks, because that did not really work out for me. It just caused me to go back to the store a couple more times and spend more money. Um, so I found out, going at least once a week, I can definitely figure out what I want for the week and go from there. And then I just know next week, hey, new meal plan, different ads. Also find out when your store's ads reset. Like, when does the new sales go in effect? I know for me in my area, we can start to see some ads as early as Tuesday, and those go into effect on Wednesday. So that's another good thing. Also, I feel like for most, I can't say for every store, but try to figure out when your store marks down items. I used to remember what my local Aldi's markdown days were. I don't remember what Aldi's are anymore, because technically I don't really shop at Aldi's anymore. I rather go to Lidl. There's nothing wrong with Aldi's, but I just like Lidl. I think they have more of a selection, or more diverse selection. Um, so that's another thing. What else is there? I think that's kind of it. And make it enjoyable. Make it enjoyable. Don't think it's like I'm restricting myself. Don't feel that way, okay? It's like a game, you know? It's like a game. Just like people like to do savings challenges. If you usually spend, let's say for if you usually spend $50 per week, bring it down to $40. See if you can save $10, shave $10 off, and just view it like a game. Like, what can you do without, do I need this soda? Can I just, drink water? Or, you know what I mean? And I used to think that like fresh produce, I personally liked canned items because guess what, they last longer. And of course, like say for when you're in a pandemic or like people recently, the weather, bad weather, it's good to still have canned items. I know a lot of people like, oh no, buy fresh is good, I understand that, but it's still good to have canned items for times where you can't even get to the store. um like canned beans, canned things. But technically, like even for myself, I always thought like fresh produce was more expensive, but it really doesn't have to be. It really does not have to be, especially when you're finding sales on it. What else? Yeah, I think that's kind of it. As I mentioned, I've been doing this since the first video I had uploading. It said August of 2018, but I forgot. I will have to post up here the first video that I made when I, really made the switch. Is because I seen that we were being very wasteful. And sometimes, to be honest, we're wasteful on $25. And you may think that's crazy, but it's not, because when I shop on a budget and I find cheap foods, we have an influx of stuff, especially when I have stuff in the freezer. And then also, I feel like the smaller the meals, the better for me and my son, because yes, it does mean I have to cook more, but we really don't care for leftovers for a lot of different things. Like spaghetti, okay, meatloaf, okay. But some of the other meals, it's like a one-stop shop. I don't want seconds or third day food. So that's another thing. Just know yourself. Do you like leftovers? Um, make food in smaller batches if you don't like eating leftovers. Um, so that you're not wasteful. And then, even like when you uh put the meats up or whatever your stuff is, put it up or have containers or freezer bags, something that you can heat up later on. Like, or even like with me, say forth with the chicken, of course you can make different meals with that. Sometimes I'll do the chicken breast, put it as a topping in my salads. Right now, we're going to be doing the yellow rice, some pinto beans, like some southern style pinto beans, and the chicken breast. And it's going to be like what is it, like a chipotle bowl or whatever you want to call it. And that stuff tastes amazing, amazing. So yeah, just find ways to be creative. View it as a challenge. Comment down below, because I think groceries is one of the biggest things that people overspend on top of eating out. I can talk about eating out in another video. I feel like me and my son, we have a good handle on it, but sometimes when I'm in my feelings, I'm like, whatever, I just don't want to cook, and then I'll do whatever. But for the most part, I think groceries is something that if you can even cut back $10-20 per week, that's $40 per month that you could be saving. And I know, as I mentioned, I will say this again, that me doing a $25 budget seems insane, but what I plan on doing is sharing with you, like I used to do in the past, sharing with you my grocery hauls. So you see everything that I'm buying. And usually when I do my grocery hauls, I will tell you, hey, I bought this and I'm going to make this. So I may make what's for dinner, what's for lunch, what's for breakfast. I may do that. I may post it in the community tab. Um, but it's just, that's just my way of sharing what I'm doing, how I'm stretching my money, how I'm making that $25 work for me. Um, but yeah, hopefully this helps somebody. I don't know, because I feel like my channel obviously is growing, and I haven't done one of these videos in a while. Um, so yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Leave your tips down below. Do you plan on, cutting back some for the month of March? Because I know a lot of people are doing like March Madness. I'm not partaking in any of those type of things, but let me know. Let me know if you guys are going to incorporate something in regards to trying to cut back on your groceries. Do you have a good handle on your groceries? Do you think you could do better? Do you feel like you're wasteful? Once again, the reason why I cut back on my grocery budget is because we were wasteful and my money was just going in the garbage. So why not cut back beforehand so I'm not overdoing it? And I can't really buy a lot of processed foods, right? Because processed foods really can be kind of costly. So I rather buy fresh things and cook it and then make my food that way. Um so yeah, I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you guys for coming in and watching, and yeah, see you in the next video. Bye.